again. 5 unlikely friends, recently having murdered a few fishermen. To what end? I suppose we'll find out today. Let's start this off on an island. Raise the curtain.
So we left off having set up the shifts for who was sleeping and who wasn't, right? I think.
I believe so. Also, this is a tale of a tragic children of a tragic ship.
See, it's really funny because you're saying that and no one's checked the boat lately. But
Actually, that's not true. We pulled the boat onto shore.
I know. That doesn't mean you haven't checked it lately.
Oh,
Or that you've checked it lately.
It's not drifting off in the water. That's the only thing I know.
No. It's not drifting off by itself. I'm smiling.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I guess they'll just go back to being the robots, being level 3 and awesome. Or level 2.
Just like, man, we sure are stranded here forever. That sure sucks.
Man, oh man, I hate being stranded here forever.
just our guys will just repeatedly, as a running gag, get stranded on this island, and whenever the other characters become aware of it, they go to fetch them back and forth. All our squishy people will be level 1 forever now, but like the robots will just rapidly scale up because they're actually competent.
Or we don't, and it just actually becomes Gilligan's Isle, the role-playing game.
The role-playing game, yes.
Now with more cannibalism. I don't know what
All
we're gonna
of
eat.
fucking cannibalism.
Whoa. We can't call it cannibalism because you're obviously gonna eat Kai first.
Oh wait, no, we'd eat the fairies
What?
first. We'd
Cannibalism.
eat
Cannibalism, yeah.
My mom was talking to me, and then when I came back, all I heard was, "We're gonna eat Kai first."
What?
the perfect treat.
Does anyone but Kai disagree? Well, there you go then.
Delilah?
All right.
I turned into a cat. Delilah?
Anyone? Please?
So yeah, who's on watch? First watch.
I don't even know.
Okay.
I think I said I would and one other person, but I don't remember who the other was.
Probably Delilah?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, and where are we actually going to be, like, camping on the island?
By the way, I'm looking this over, and this is a lot more cruel than D&D as far as resting shifts. If your rest of about 8 hours is interrupted for 1 minute,
Yeah.
you lose any benefit. So who's not sleeping?
I mean, we can also sleep in 8-hour shifts.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they can, like, clonk out while we're rowing back.
Clonk. It's not an 8-hour trip back.
No, but I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, but it got interrupted for any fucking reason.
Yeah. I mean, they can always short rest, however that works.
That is
if
pretty
they're a
fucked
thing.
though.
It
Just
doesn't do
side
much.
note.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's like, sorry, did you get 4 hours of sleep? Did you get 6 hours of sleep? Like, I'm just gonna say, I will be nice about it and say, like, 6 hours. I'm gonna go with mostly what the book says, but I'm gonna cut it to 6 hours because 8 hours is kind of a really outdated idea.
Remember?
People don't sleep for 8 hours anymore.
I mean, we're supposed to, but do we?
Yeah.
Depending on your age.
I sleep
So-
like 4 hours.
I mean, we could always just, like,
You're
I
not
guess...
supposed to. As a teenager, you should be sleeping for 10 hours.
Guys, on
Okay.
track. But yeah, I mean, I guess if we ever end up rolling in money, we can hire mercenaries to watch over us while we sleep, and they can also be our alarm when they all die in unison.
You're splattered with warm blood. Oh shit, time to wake up. But yes, so who's not sleeping? Assuming you're actually sleeping on this fairy island.
Do we actually think we have any chance of getting back in the middle of the fog at midnight?
No.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So, yeah, I guess we'll just, pull the boat in and set up a camp near the boat. Make sure that the fire is nowhere near the boat. Post people between, I guess, on either side of the boat. I mean, you guys are low-key aware actually, no, you guys aren't low-key aware. You're very aware there's fairies, because 2 of you were murdered by them.
Uh-huh.
Which, by the way, so when you guys are like, we're going on watch, Alistair actually goes over and he's like, whatever you do, don't acknowledge anything odd you see. This is just it. This is just how this island is. You really want to take that advice to heart, unless it's going to kill us all imminently. But weirdness is fine.
Weirdness is fine. Life is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Life is strange.
My
That
soul
sounds like
hurts.
it could make a good game series.
What's a video game?
Or at least an acceptable one.
Fair enough. Okay, so with that little bit of advice, who's not sleeping?
Me.
Okay, you're not sleeping?
Yeah.
That's funny because you're one of the people that actually needs to heal.
Oh, I do need to hear
Nah,
someone
I can-
else.
I'll take the first shift.
I guess I will.
Oh, there we go.
Stay up with
sex.
Frank?
Yeah. Well, not stay up with Frank, but well, I guess 2 people should watch. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of arrange you like this, just in case I need to just absolutely brutally kill all of you.
Again?
Yeah, again.
Again. All of the agains.
I was just making sure. Yeah, it had to be clear.
That's fair. Okay. So who feels lucky?
Me.
Good. Roll me a d20.
After
And whatever you do, don't... Oh, okay, well, too late. Not going to tell you now.
Don't roll a 1. Or below 10, probably.
Or like a very specific number, like 13.
I was going to say something else, but it's not important. Don't worry.
Worried.
Don't worry, it's never important.
I just need to check a few things here myself, and we will have... okay. Okay.
What happens?
It's
The
an
food
uneve-
you've left
it's,
out is pelted at the guard's head. They didn't like it.
It is a relatively uneventful 6 hours. The only thing of any note is Frank. During the night, while you're just kind of waiting, keeping watch, you notice that there is a trickle in the water. You see a ripple spread out from one spot, and slowly, as if someone had dipped their finger in the water and was slowly dragging it towards the shore and towards you, the ripple starts getting closer, going right towards you.
Oh, fun.
It's slow, but it's going.
Oh. Are we actually organized like this?
You can organize yourselves however you like. I just kind of did that arbitrarily based on what people were saying, but yeah, you can be anywhere really.
Okay, well, I go over to Tulio and kind of point it out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tap him on the shoulder and point over there.
All right. So Tulio, Frank moves over to you, kind of taps you on the shoulder, and points out the water.
Oh, fucking joy.
And you can see that this trickle is, it's turned now that Frank has moved, and it's slowly moving towards the 2 of you now.
Now it's going after you. Do you think we should wake everyone up, or?
It's fine. It's fine. It's probably not fine. You're just under my brain. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. Yeah, that's about all I'm doing. I'm just trying to ignore it.
Okay. All right. So you're just kind of like muttering a little bit and just kind of like sitting where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. And Frank?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of kind of having my eyes in that direction, but just waiting there.
Okay. So, once it gets close to the shore and it comes up about where the beach would be, the rippling kind of stops with a little bloop as something dips down into the water. Bloop. After that, everything's quiet for about a half hour, until the point where you can hear the boat next to you, very close, of course, kind of starting to creak, as if it's actually, in the water, because, boat and water will start to creak and all that sort of stuff. It sounds like it's actually in the water. Of course, it is right next to you. But it's, just making some sounds, and you can actually see moisture starting to drip from the bottom of the boat.
Oh, and it's on the land?
Land moisture.
I think we should maybe check that out. And I suppose Frank is gonna head to the boat to try to investigate what's going on.
Moist.
Okay.
Miguel is just not even bothering. He's nope.
Right, so Miguel is just gonna ignoring this, nope, not bothering. And Frank, you are moving over to the boat, and what are you doing?
Miguel is just ignoring it now and second thoughts. I guess I'll at least take a look at the boat from the outside just to see if how much water is coming out of there. Is it starting to pour out or what?
Okay. Looking at it, it just looks like it's kind of like it had just been dunked in the water for a minute. It's dripping and it's fairly consistent, but it's not pouring out in great sums or anything.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm not gonna get in the boat or anything. I'm just gonna take a few steps away and continue waiting.
Okay. And with that, it's other than that, it's a fairly uneventful shift. And come about 6 to 8 hours later, the sun is starting to dawn.
In a few hours, the sun will rise.
So, you all wake up, and I believe... What's the healing rate on Kai and Delilah?
3. I already fixed mine.
Okay, fair enough. And Delilah? Are you 3 or 4?
3.
3? Alright. So you're back to 12 hit points. And Kai, you're at 10?
Yeah, whatever base. 13?
13?
13.
Okay, yeah, it's not fixed on here, but I got you. Alright. So, the morning is broken. Now, what are you going to do?
Get the fuck off this island.
Yeah.
Good first plan.
Last question, by the way. Mm-hmm. Before we push the boat in the water, maybe we should check it to make sure it has been pranked by being, filled with rocks or, a board in the bottom of it being removed or something.
Yeah,
shitty.
Frank is using logic here, and he's like, well, there's water coming out of the bottom of the boat. Maybe it's, cracked or something. He's
it was
he's
on
investigating
land.
Well, I saw what I saw.
And you told me not to investigate anything that
No, that was a good plan. That was a good plan. I'm actually going to quickly check something and then just make sure there isn't holes or rocks in the boat, and then off we can go to just leave this island in peace and hopefully never return. Yep. Sasha.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How's the food we left? I'm not going to go and check up on it too big. I just cursory glance.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Perfect. Okay, good. Yeah. Just gives a little the okay side of you guys. It's okay, yeah, definitely. Let's just go. Going is good. Not we're going to immediately catch fire, but going is good. Let's just go.
Let's get out of here.
What would be checking for any sign of sabotage check? Would that be intellect?
Yeah, it'd be intellect. But honestly, like I said, you don't actually need to make a check. You take a look, and it looks like it's fine.
Oh, goody. Then onwards we go. And yeah, I guess while we're rowing, we'll let the two guards sleepily sleep.
Oh yeah, you're going to get a good hour of sleep.
Hey man, I mean, when you've had no sleep, even an hour feels amazing. Sort of. It also feels horrible.
2 hours feels a little bit. 2 hours can feel good. 1 hour usually doesn't.
Oh boy, another cruise, just like in my book,
No.
Linda in the Caribbean.
The sleep feels great. The waking up feels like poison.
Anyways,
Yeah, kind of.
okay. So 6, about an hour, I believe. So we'll take you to about, let's say, 8:15 in the morning.
And we had loaded the cloth covered bundle into the boat, obviously, I would think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I say we pull up to a point of the dock that is less crowded than the rest. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we ditch the boat. And then we never become associated with this boat ever again.
We never speak of any of this ever again.
You do, by the way, as you're coming to the dock, you're seeing there's guards standing around.
Uh-oh.
They're just talking to people. They've got their pads out. They mostly look bored. They're just kind of jotting things down. But yeah, there's just some, I got a thick-looking people, swarthy-looking people, scrawny-looking people. They're fishermen. You can tell by the clothes and the smell. And they're like, they're gesturing at their hands, and they're pointing out at the water, and one of them kind of taps his ear and makes a little wiggle thing with his fingers.
Yeah,
Well, luckily we're not suspicious at all with the dead body you were trying to carry back.
it is
onto-
bundled. It is bundled. Away we go. Yeah, can we, just inconspicuously exit stage, right? I mean, there's two things we need to do. One is we actually do need to drop this off. But there's also the thing of we need to set up a meeting with the little shithead that probably set us up.
This bastard.
Phineas.
There's the potential that it's the father that set us up, but I will bet all of my silver that it was Phineas and not the father, or at least it's either Phineas or someone else. Front. Oh man. So, if he disappears on us, does that mean he put us in the friend zone? I'm sorry. Not really sorry, though.
Are you sorry? I don't think you are sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
I mean, Sasha makes us sorry every game.
That's true.
That is very true.
There can be no denying that this is gospel.
And we are sorry excuses. So, I mean, when aren't we sorry?
But don't.
Yeah, for now, though.
Yeah, so here's the question, guys. Do we, does one of us go and, maybe bring this... No, we should probably just bring the body to the father and such. I'm just like, should we report this to the police first? So there's, or the constables? And
I don't like the guards very much.
And here's the
I
other
think I'm
thing.
good.
Should we possibly try and get in contact with Frent before we turn in the body? Because if we turn in the body, Frent will get a heads up. Though he might already have a heads up, because we only found one cultist, not two. So he might already realize the jig is up if he meets us, unless we... I don't know. Like, what if we mention to the dude that, with the... fucking put a letter like, we need to meet up. We got the girl with the use of a clever decoy. Meet us here. And then we just find out if, you know, the inn room or whatever we rent out gets raided by a bunch of cultists. Because then we definitely know it's him. And we don't be in that room. We be in the room across from it.
Yeah, that'll work.
Well, I mean, we could always, like, I don't know if the guy would get a heads up if we, like, we meet the father and then, tell him
carrying...
that we're suspicious of that guy.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Fine. We can do that. I'm just... Also, yeah, that avoids us carrying around a body. And, like, dealing with the smell. Okay, you know, I'm just a little stressed. I'm very stressed. I'm so stressed.
Stop being so stressed!
You know, I'll stop being stressed when I actually have a lead on where my niece is. I'll stop being stressed then. I'll stop being stressed when there's people not killing me. I'll stop trying to kill... effectively killing me? I don't know. It's not been a good past day or two.
This has not been a good time.
Kai just leans over to Delilah and is like, a silver piece, his niece is dead. Not loud enough for Alistair to hear me.
Yeah, he's just like...
Heck.
starting to like hyperventilate and coughing. Okay. Okay, I guess we deal with Dreen first. This'll go swimmingly. Who's
it'll
doing
go
the
best.
talking?
See, here's one thing you may need to figure out first. You say exit stage left. Where? Because here's the thing. You're on the boat. You have a bundled up document. You've got what remains of robes wrapped around a dead, ripped apart corpse. It smells pretty bad. There were no flies on that island, but all of a sudden, as soon as you got off the island, it starts smelling terrible.
Oh, wait. I have a solution. I have a spare set of robes inside my, the rune-covered demonologist robes. Mm-hmm. We can just inverse it so the runes aren't, on the outside. Yeah, and we can use that to help cover up the body. It's not going to cover up the smell, but it, you know, looks a lot less tattered and messy.
True, it's not got so much blood leaking out of it.
And we can tie it firmly with a coil of rope that I have.
Because that's one thing you are noticing is the further you got from the island, the more it started to smell, and you're finding as you touch it that blood has started to leak through the bottom, where it was kind of just had stopped before.
So yeah, does that work as sort of a failsafe right now? Is using?
Might.
Yeah. I do that.
It's still, however, going. I'm still curious, however, as to how you're going to, with guards standing on the shore, just kind of talking to people, how you're going to pull up in a boat like this one, and then drag this out of the boat.
Wait.
What's the plan?
Question: How is the writing on the boat put there? Like, is it painted? Is it like, fucking, what's the name of this boat again?
Good intentions. And it was chiseled.
It's chiseled.
Chiseled.
Looks like one of those guys who's pretty good at woodworking. I wonder which one. You could have asked.
I mean, once I gain necromancy, sure, I can ask.
Didn't you kill me? No, that was my brother, Ballastair. Nasty dude. Anyways, where's your buried treasure?
Bastard, very. Did you just...
He's very Ballastair.
Any relation to Fred Astaire?
Maybe.
Oh my god, but actually great. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're gonna get this going. So That is a problem. Guys.
That's a problem.
I mean, we could pull on to a different section of the shore, couldn't we?
You could, however, currently, you've been floating in, you're moving towards the thing, there's kind of, the cops are basically there, so you could suddenly just kind of stop and
I don't
start rowing
mean
somewhere else.
Stop and that. I mean just casually veer it a bit further along the dock, because it's a long stretch of dock, right?
It is. The most you could casually veer it is like a good maybe 5 rows, 6 rows. Unless you were like, for any further than that, you'd be very clearly suddenly just going like, and we're going this way.
6 rows still gets us fairly far, correct?
Fair enough.
Yeah, you know what? We could go with 6 rows, honestly. Actually, wait. 5 rows? Because we want to sort of aim to nestle it up just in between a pair of unoccupied ships. Because that gives us the best chance of just walking away, is nestling it up between a pair of unoccupied ships.
You found like 2 ships that are basically around the same size as yours.
Done. Yeah, we pull it into there. In between them.
Okay.
Done.
So y'all pull it all in. And now what you gonna do?
Okay, currently the roby bit, right, on the outside is nice brightly colored, right?
The what?
So I'm the inverted, the cult.
Oh, the
demon-
robe on here. Yeah.
Yeah. So does it sort of look like a carpet when it's like around and etc. in the big lump?
Yeah. It's a pretty awkwardly shaped carpet.
You know what? I also will take the purple robe and invert it and put it over, and then we can tie it. So there's two.
Keep in mind at this point,
I can change.
Keep in mind, at this point, you're within visual range of anyone on the dock who literally turns their head slightly to the
Good
side.
point.
So if you're suddenly like, I'm gonna just do that, they're gonna just stare at you and go, hey, look at all the blood-covered robes over there.
Good point. Yeah, whatever. In that case, demonologist robe, whatever, should be fine when it's inverted. Can we adjust the rope slightly so it looks a little normal, and then just have, like, 2, 3 of us carry it so we can distribute the weight? So, like, it doesn't look so unnatural. It'll just... Yeah.
Realistically speaking, 2 adults is probably all you can use to carry this. Poor Candace wasn't a very big girl in any regard. She was kind of short and kind of thin. So... You're not looking at something that 3 adult men could actually, or frankly, just Delilah herself could probably just lift this up and carry it because she's a beef.
Oh, I just meant for 2 people because that would help with, they could use their arm to slightly keep it more aligned.
Yeah, so 2 you could do. 3, no.
Okay, so
3 basically to be doing a conga line.
I volunteer Delilah and Frank. Because we should keep Frank busy with the carpet and not talking to guards. You can ask them to if they want an autographed copy of your book of the Adventures of Linda with the corpse in a bag. At a time that is not today, but definitely not today.
Okay, but I'm gonna remember you promising me that.
We're also going to workshop that title in case that's what you are going to call whatever you're going to write about our current adventure. Yeah, okay. And I guess, Miguel, would you like to take point alongside me? And Kai, actually, this works. Kai was a cat when they got on the boat, so they're looking for 4 people, not 5. Yeah, Kai, just stick with us up front.
Sweet.
So, Frank, are you carrying from the front or from the back?
I guess I'll carry from the front.
From the front? Okay.
Well, I guess the back will be lighter and Delilah's the strong.
So, Delilah's...
So strong.
So, Delilah, you're carrying from the front. Frank, you got it from the back? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, it seems to go well enough. You get off the boat. Now, you obviously do garner a few looks, but literally anyone coming off the boat is going to get at least a look or 2. None of the guards seem to be looking your way particularly. They are looking around, but none of them look directly at you.
Yeah, we just casually walk, because, I mean, it would be way more awkward if we started, like, hustling quickly.
Oh yes, very. Please start running so I can end the campaign.
Okay. I jog while everyone else is encumbered with the corpse.
Anyways.
My escape is nigh! Why is that man running? Oh no, we just started booking it.
Why are you
Morning
running?
jogs
Why are you
for the
running?
morning jog. It's how the nobles
One of
keep
them-
in shape.
Definitely.
One of the guards said cat, and I just panicked.
Oh dear. Anyways, so yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're heading off to the market, and
Here's another thing. So you're gonna take this, like you're going to carry it all the way to the market.
wait a second. No, I know exactly where we can take it. Where
keep in mind
is we could take it to one of the churches and leave it there. That is the proper place where we should bring a church. They would likely be willing to keep it for viewing for the father, etc.
Yes. So redemption, you're going to have to go. Is about a 2-hour trip because there's no way across the water from here. Is the thing, given where you docked. If you would say docked over here, would have taken longer to get there, and you would have taken about an hour to get to redemptions. But given you were going straight line away from there,
I know, because I do not know of anywhere else that we have unless there's an inn along the way, and there might be questions asked. So, redemption seems like the best case?
I mean, Mercy Hill is here.
What's
Don't you want to
first?
stop off there?
No.
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 Hey!
Same.
Hey, I would love to talk to you about the thing I fucked up on massively. No.
But yeah, so here's the thing. It's going to take you, again, 2 hours once to get to the section, and then once to get over to Redemptions. So, we're talking 2 hours of carrying a corpse through the street. It's going to smell the whole way, and that blood is only going to be kept from dripping out of the bottom for a good, like, none of you have really killed anybody except for probably Delilah several times. So... Okay, but seriously, Delilah, you might know that the blood is probably going to leak through there in a good 5 minutes at best. Like, it may come out sooner. So you have about 5 minutes to find some way
Sasha?
to wrap this up. So, yeah.
Sasha, did it rain last night? Didn't think it did. Let's find a rain barrel.
Okay.
We empty a rain barrel, we stick the corpse in a barrel, and we call it a day. We
Okay,
we
so-
carry it with us.
Okay, so so you're all going over to a rain barrel, are you?
We're gonna wait until we're out of eyesight of the guard.
Well, of course. I don't mean immediately, but you know, you can find one in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, does anyone else have any counter plans or points?
Nope.
Yeah, okay, so rain barrel. Because the alternative is finding a very, very, like, if we're totally fucked, it's, finding a ditch.
A ditch in the middle of town. Well, it's not impossible.
Yeah, maybe if we were in, like, tears. Grievings, rather.
I'm sure Alistair could smooth talk a guard into like, hey, you know, we found this corpse that we need to bring back to its
Yeah, I
Family?
mean, no, though. No, see, I have to properly RP it. I can't just stat roll my way through it, so no, probably not. I would probably talk us into getting arrested since my character's not liked by most people.
Yeah, he's got all the animosity from people who don't like the nobles, and the nobles don't like him either because now he's poor. So, you do find a rain barrel. You find literally one rain barrel. You don't see any others, and the blood is starting to drip down onto your
Yeah,
hands.
okay,
Like,
fuck it,
you can
into
go,
the rain barrel it
whoa,
goes.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh.
whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And sitting on top of that rain barrel is a rather tubby child, approaching teenage years, but not quite there yet.
Get the fuck off my barrel, Augustus!
Yeah. Just sort of legs folded, sitting snugly back against the wall with a lollipop. They kind of smack their lips. And then...
Okay.
and they're just sitting on there.
I'm fucking done immediately, so there's blood leaking on our hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alistair sort of, bends down.
Just keep in mind, you're not holding the corpse right now, so it's dripping
Yeah,
on them.
yeah, I can see it starting to drip from the bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I lean down. I'm gonna tap the underside of the corpse and get blood on my hands. Hobble towards this kid. And then hoarsely cough in his face through my fingers so some blood spurts. And just be like, oh, I need that barrel to vomit so much blood. And then hoarsely cough in his face. And I'm just trying to just spook him the fuck off the barrel. And out of that area. And I can roll for this too, because...
Oh no, there's not a need. Because the kid has, stinking, rotting blood coughed in his face, and immediately screams at the top of his little lungs, rolls his pudgy ass off that thing, lands on the ground on his bunny, gets up, and then just, takes off like a Roomba.
Okay, yeah. I go over the barrel, make fake retching noises while sort of cupping it and making a motioning making it a gesture towards them, in here, fuck now. Go time.
And the others do not do that.
I suppose we swoosle on over there and put it in the barrel.
All right.
We make sure there's not water in the barrel first.
There's half a barrel full of water.
Yeah, I just tip it.
All right. So tip it over in the street. It goes splooshing around, and you instead dump the dead girl in there.
Yup.
Okay. Now, what are you doing with this rain barrel?
I guess.
Rain barrel.
Yeah, I guess we just put the top on it, and what I'm going to do incidentally is, so I put the top on it. But first, before then, I'm going to stick my pack over the body. I'll be sad about this later, but hey. Actually, let me think. Well, I'm trying to think. We don't want... Yeah, I put the pack... I just sort of adjust my pack so the fine clothes are on the top of it, in case it leaks through the thing, and the rations are on the top of it. It's fine.
The rations?
God damn it, guys. But yes. And then on top of that, I stick the purple robe, so if someone pulls the top off the barrel, they see purple robes, and we just say we're carting around finery and trying not to get robbed.
And didn't you wrap the purple robes around her?
No, I wrapped the demonologist robes, which are different. The purple robes were the ones I commissioned.
Alrighty. Okay. Well then, you have your stinking barrel. And now you're going to roll or carry?
Carry.
Carry, huh?
If we
Delilah
roll
could just
it,
carry that barrel on her shoulder.
no.
Better than
but
you, but...
I mean, honestly, I'd probably say it should be carried between Delilah and Frank. Because if they're just carrying it by both sides, that should be fine. I actually have to... just carry it I don't know, a 45-degree angle. We don't want it tipped totally sideways. For reasons. But yeah, it's fine. And yeah, off we go to the church carrying this barrel. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I won't hassle you too much more about it. So 2 hours later, you're there. Now, you're not going to want to do any heavy lifting for a bit because carrying a corpse on your shoulders in a barrel is really, really, really not the easiest thing in the world to do. So, Frank and Delilah, you're not afflicted yet, but you may not want to do any heavy lifting for at least an hour so that you don't strain yourselves.
I think now is where we basically, we're in the church of the church of the new god would probably be the one we'd want to be in. correct? Or would it be like, is there a church to Father Death in here?
There is like a tent.
To Father Death.
Would you like to go to the tent?
Question: would something like this and keeping hold of a body, since like death and the departed is sort of his domain, would that be something that we'd possibly be able to entreat a priest of Father Death?
Are you religious?
I mean, not to that specific religion.
Probably don't know then.
Okay, Frank, would your church help with this and also not call the guard on us?
Would his church help with that and also not call the guard?
Well, Frank, if you brought a dead corpse into the church, what kind of reason do you think you could have that they're not immediately going to say, "Oh my God, call
Why
the
do you
guards"?
have a corpse?
Basically, they might believe you because you go there. If you were to say like, "We found this body," or
Yeah, Frank
like,
would probably
or-
just tell him the truth.
yeah, there's been a horrible tragedy or something like that.
The girl
But-
was kidnapped and murdered is the horrible truth, and we found the body and brought it here so the father could identify her.
Like, if you were to actually like give them some sort of like actual reasoning, then they're still calling the guard, but they would probably not be like, "And they brought it in, those 6 psychopaths. Oh my God!"
We just ask if they could wait calling the guard until the father identifies her.
That makes you seem even more suspicious.
No. Until the father identifies her, so we know if this is in fact the kidnapped girl, or if these people were totally the worst and kidnapped and possibly murdered more people. Because, I mean, if it is the kidnapped girl, then we have found the person the father asked us to find. If it is not the kidnapped girl, because it is possible it's not, stares at you guys, then, that kidnapped girl is still out there. So it's definitely important that we get the father to identify this before it becomes the jurisdiction of the guard. Nod. Yeah, that makes sense, right, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose I don't know how we're gonna stop them. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna buy that. But
Oh, no, it's fine. We just ask. It's the only thing we can do is we can ask.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you head in the church.
And also,
And-
I do retrieve the pack and the robe and stuff back in the pack when we're
They
at
they're not stained with blood, given where they were sitting, but they do smell like it.
Yeah, that'll wash out eventually.
That'll wash out.
Okay, so you walk in. It is a father, up there speaking to the congregation, giving some words about afterlife and rejoining with your loved ones.
Is it the one that the one who sort of helped us find the father who's now a madman?
Sadly, no.
Okay, so he's not as familiar with us.
oh, so it's not Schwalbs or whatever his name was.
Dreary.
This is Father Morgan.
Okay.
I think we talked to Morgan, but very briefly.
Father Morgan is speaking to. Well, I guess it's 8, so 10. So yeah, it's about 10:30 right now. So yeah, this is basically like primetime congregation. So you're carrying this in, or are you going right in? Because Frank, you definitely know this is primetime congregation. They're going to be talking to a church full of people waiting to hear about afterlives and doing good deeds and all that sort of shit.
Is there a side entrance or like a whatever entrance?
Well, Frank would know that there's a back entrance, but you need to be let in. You need to knock, and it's church hours.
Would there be someone who can do that who's not like the priest guy that's
Yeah,
speaking?
there's a few helpers in there, choir boys essentially, and girls. So you
Yeah.
could go inside, try and talk to one of them, and get them to let you in the back, for example.
Oh,
And then we can
Yeah,
wait
that's what
there
I'll do.
safely.
I'll
Okay,
go in
so-
and get someone I know.
All right, so there's I'll say, Harold. So you go inside, you see Harold. He's one of the helpers, kind of a shy kid. He looks
Okay,
up
well-
at you as you come in. He gives a little wave because he's not about to interrupt the father.
So I kind of scoot in there silently, not to interrupt anything, shuffle around too much, and I kind of whisper to him, like, can I speak to you outside for a moment? It's important.
He nods and walks outside with you guys. Kid's like 14, maybe.
I think the perfect person for this.
Hey, kids, want to see a dead body?
Hey, kids!
I kind of tell him that we were sent on a mission to rescue someone, and unfortunately, we found them dead.
There's just luck in your tails? Oh, no. What? No. That's not how it goes. You found them, right?
So we were needing to talk to, looks like the good father there is busy, but do you know where any of the other ones are?
They're not here at the moment.
Well, it's okay.
He kind of looks back to Frank like he has no idea who this guy is.
We just need you to open the back door for us. We need to. We don't want to interrupt the session, but we need to talk to for Father Morgan after church is let out.
All right, I suppose it's all right. If Father Morgan knows you and your friends, and he kind of looks directly over at Delilah, the big scary lady with like scars and shit, and just kind of quails.
Don't worry about her. She's a good orc. Or whatever.
An orc?
I love it.
I mean, that's hilarious. I think she's human. Pretty sure.
Well, that's what he says.
No, they're not even human. No.
Not human.
I know.
They like cats. People who like cats can't be bad.
That's a lie. But in any case,
Liar.
You're a
Right.
terrible liar. Let's see how.
But in any case, so
convincing of
he
what
heads
I am.
back inside, and presumably he's going to unlock the door.
I'm
in the
a
back.
not convincing liar.
No, you're terrible. Right, so you guys are now moving this barrel around to the back.
Yeah.
Okay. So move around to the back, and before long, you hear ka-chunk. The door kind of opens, and Harold's there. He looks outside, and he's, "Come on in. Just do be quiet."
We head in with the barrel and put it somewhere, I guess.
Okay.
Padre.
So I like sidle up over to Tulio, and I'm like, "Hey, can you maybe find some incense around here, like all surreptitious like, and maybe light it near the barrel so people don't ask questions before the good father arrives." Straightens back up like, Tulio.
Yeah?
Yeah, did you catch that?
I'm not gonna lie, my brain kind of went there. What did you want me to do again?
Find some incense so we can light it near the barrel, so the smell.
Yeah, I
Doesn't-
got that.
Yeah.
Go off, find some incense. I'm sure it's not hard to find here.
It's really not. Right, so find some incense, kind of put it on top of the barrel, just kind of anything to block the smell.
Yo.
Yeah. Light some around it, just padre.
Oh yeah. I ask Frank to just pray a little for the poor girl, so the lighting of the incense seems normal too. And it's just someone praying then in a corner with incense, and I'm just gonna sit down on whatever chair or stool is there, and
Not sure I'm qualified for that. But
actually, Alistair spends the next few moments like looking for any writing utensil so he can start going over things of like what to write to the little bastard Frent. So it's just like
Dear Mr. Friend, you're a bitch. I hate you.
you
I'm going
are
to
so
cut one of your balls off and use it to beat the other one into jelly. Dearly,
Stop being, dear Mr. Friend, stop being such a hoe bag. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks. Ciao.
we were
didn't
never
even get by.
friends. We were never
You're not my
friends.
cousin anymore.
Get bent. Sincerely.
Dear friend, get
your
bent.
Fucking business.
Oh, God. Okay, well, before too long.
Oh,
like,
and to hell you will be sent.
Delilah sitting over there in the corner. Oh, I'll make sure of that. So, about an hour or so later, just before noon, the congregation lets out. A few final prayers are made. A few, healing prophecies are spoken. Those don't really usually come true, but
Thou will be healed by the power of the law.
by the power of that, oh God, who definitely wants what's best for everyone in this church.
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna knock
With
it
the
too
power
hard.
of the Oracacamalos.
They did actually heal us when we were like crippled as fuck.
This is true.
It's true. That probably means that the new God is very benevolent. Anyways, so he walks into the back, and Father Morgan kind of looks at you all over. He's, hello again.
Waves.
And he pats Howard on the shoulder, who gives a little nod. Young Howard here tells me that there's been an unfortunate incident.
Yes, unfortunately, there's been a horrible incident. We were wondering if we could use this space and to hold the body until we can get the father to pay his respects, I suppose.
Of course. I will need dispatch for the guards so that they can take proper precautions.
We do understand that. We would just ask if you could wait until after the father has paid his respects, given that the father is Master Dreen. And having...
He just kind of gives you this look. Master Dreen?
It was Dreen, correct? Who was the shopkeeper?
Oh, yeah.
Guy? Yeah. Yeah, it just...
Not a shopkeeper. This guy's like on the council. This is one of like 11 people that
I mean,
runs
it's
the
not
city.
really going to be easy to cover up the fact that his daughter's in. It's like a yes. So we'd rather not have the body be potentially tied up in a lot of paperwork before he's able to attend to his own child.
He nods. Of course. You'll, however, need to take the findings outside of the church.
Is there a crypt or somewhere that we could leave it that would be safe?
Just out back is all right, just not inside the church.
Nods.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, he doesn't want one of the people who runs the city to walk into his church and go, "My daughter's corpse is here."
Yep.
Why?
Yep. But no, that avoids the guards getting involved too long and will likely cover up everything involved in it. Or we'll just die. I mean,
That's a high probability, we'll say.
I mean, this at least prevented the guards from getting on our case and bought us time, and we now don't have the corpse on our hands. So...
Well, you still have a little bit of the corpse on your hand.
There's more on Frank and Delilah's hands, though, so...
Yeah, I sneezed most of mine off. That poor child.
Yeah, he's got some bad disease at this point. But so do you, so that's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna wash my hands. Like, the moment, like, I'm not being paid attention to by anyone, I wash my hands in, like, the little baptism bowl.
Okay. Well, the baptism bowl is now, muddy looking.
It's fine. They probably replace it all the time.
Yeah, sure.
You know what? Fine. If I don't think they'll do it, I cough and accidentally spill it. I guess they need to fill
That
it.
makes it even better somehow.
Hey, it's at least just not going to be like, I baptize this baby! It's going now!
A bloody pentagram just forms on this child's head because they baptized it in the blood of someone murdered.
The blood of Jesus.
I mean,
The power
not
of
inaccurate.
Alcamanos.
Not inaccurate.
In any case.
Yeah, I guess we just find a good spot in the back. The back would be like a boneyard, right? Or is it just like a church property and like a shed or something?
This is kind of a church property, so yeah, you don't really have many places to just take a
Shed.
proper seat, but you can kind of sit down with your back against something.
No, we're just gonna stick the barrel in a shed, and now one of us needs to go and direct things to Dreen. The question is, do you want to tell Dreen... Here's the problem. Do we tell Dreen, oh hey, your daughter's dead, you can pick her up here, or do you tell Dreen, oh hey, your daughter's dead? Like, how are we doing this?
I look forward to seeing your answer to that question.
We dress in all black, really dramatic robes. Act like we've been mourning the whole time since we got here.
Sounds good so far.
Yeah, I feel like we should definitely say mention that we killed that Litzberg and the rest of the guys are dead.
Tulio just kind of sits here and like.
Well, in your
our
defense,
defense,
the cultists are going to tell you otherwise.
Our defense, we can literally mention, and truthfully, because we have the bit of the tattered cloak, that the payment, so the allocation of his daughter was interfered with by someone else who went after his daughter. I mean, the fact of the matter is we actually do have at least proof of an organization existing, because we were smart enough to take the fucking chunk of cultist robe. We can also make mention that Frent might be part of it, since we were mysteriously ambushed by a group of people who knew where we were. And we're like on our heels the moment we were out the door, basically. Like that, like, the only way we can do this is pray to God that it wasn't Dreen that put a hit out on his own daughter. If he has, and he's a lord of the city, we need to get the fuck out of the city. So if he starts monologuing evilly, we're just out. Everyone in favor of this plan, raise your hand. I'm raising my hand right now.
Hand.
It just walks out. I see you fallen for my... Everybody just runs. I was going to say my plan to make the city a better place. I was going to give you all gold. Where are you running? Oh.
I can't help that I have...
Words?
I can't help that I have a resting evil face.
That's just how it is.
Anyways,
So
go ahead.
Are we all gonna go over there together, or are we just gonna like
Here's
send
this.
one person to die?
So, as I was stating,
Yeah.
why don't you just specifically tell them that like you found his daughter, and they had already killed her.
Good point. We could say that they
had no intention of actually giving her up.
No. We can mention that she was already dead when we got there. We can also mention we'd seen signs of a struggle. Put this forward, because in case he's seen that, he might give us leads on who these assholes are. And then we can mention they just immediately attacked us and we killed them all, because I don't think was there survivors?
Not on the Rude Boys.
Well, there's probably a few survivors, but they're not likely to come forth and identify themselves.
Yeah, and it's not like Alistair would know because he was busy being unconscious. And then dead. And then dead. Yeah, I hadn't forgotten that part. I was just getting there.
Just remember.
Uh-huh.
We've never been dead. What are you talking about?
Good point. It was just a group swamp gases.
Yeah.
Fairy
Swamp
magic.
gases.
Well, that is usually associated to alien visits, so.
I don't know if that's any better than the truth.
Yeah, I mean, girl was dead there when we got there. It was intending on being a double cross. They were already discussing plans on leaving. So we practiced this back and forth, right?
Well, I mean, like, what is the... I mean, the cultist guys that ambushed us, I don't know.
We can mention...
Like, I don't see what's the difference between them killing her and the
Oh, no. See...
guys killing her.
Because it might be hard to convince him that there was a bunch of rival magic users there, although at the same time we're going to need to explain the fact that his daughter's body is split in two, which is why I wanted to mention the cultists. Because his daughter's body is split in two.
I was gonna say, you could just say you don't know what the fuck happened.
I mean, that I still think alluding that
Like,
signs
the
of
legit... I was gonna say, the legit thing is, like, you show up, and that's what you showed up to.
signs of magical conflict. I mean, they'd at least know that I'm apprentice to
Yeah, that's it. Signs of magical bullshit.
tattered robe. These guys, the rude boys, had apparently fought off someone, and we don't know if your daughter was killed by them or whoever they fought. And then we dealt with them.
Yep.
And spent the last few days recuperating.
Yep.
We can say that honest.
Although we do have to remember one thing. Let's say, the son-in-law, quote unquote, or whatever, had found us and was taking care of us. Like, what the fuck happened?
Did friend find us?
I could have sworn that's who we woke up with.
No, I thought that was
No, we don't
a
know.
priest. No.
We just like up in a room.
No. When we woke up, I think it was the.
You gotta
priest.
remember, last session I was dead
Oh no,
to the world.
I mean, fucking, I don't even remember. It's been so long, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure we haven't seen hide nor hair of friend, because if we'd woken up to friend, I would have punched him in the dick.
Punch.
I would have, like, killing touch dick punched him as an immediate instinct because of the epiphany I had when we were on the island of, motherfucker, we got backstabbed. I think it was like a partial epiphany that was dawning when we were on the boat, but hadn't quite sunk in, and then it fully sunk in, like, one of those two shit heaps backstabbed us. So yeah, I don't think we woke up to Frent tending us, or I would have, like, if we had Fortune, I would have burned Fortune to punch his gonads up so hard they replace his eyeballs.
Well, has anything like that ever happened?
So the only hole I could see being poked into this plan is that someone might have seen us when we came back and got taken care of, and then went back to the island.
Yeah, which we can just say, like, we were in horrible shape and sailors, like, we nearly died. Sailors found us and brought us back. Entirely truthful, as far as we know. And we spent a while recuperating and then retrieved the girl to try and find out everything we could to make sure that the job was done. And to make sure that he had and make sure that he had his daughter to mourn. Because more or less, it's truisms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More on the side of truisms.
I approve this plan.
So who's gonna be doing the talking? Because I mean, there's two people with trickery
Kai.
here. Kai actually has trickery and stuff. Hey Kai.
Not to mention she's employed by Dreen, isn't she?
Yes.
You mean isn't he times 2 combo?
Yeah. Isn't he times 2? Fuck you, I'm tired.
I see that Miguel here has the GM syndrome, where they cannot fucking remember people's gender, apparently.
Mine's easy
Obviously.
to remember. It's Arlie gender.
I know, your gender is douche.
Wow. Rise.
Yeah.
Weeps.
Such a douche.
Sad.
Okay, seriously though.
Stop being a douche.
I came back to my name. What's up?
Do
we're-
however.
You know all that conversation that you just missed because you were gone getting ice? Can you
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Good. You're
Just fucking do it.
essentially, we've elected you to give the cliff notes of the story, which we went over. And I mean, if you want to hear the sort of cliff notes of the story to go over, or we can, possibly avoid reiterating exposition so we can actually get on with killing finding friends.
I was gone though, so
Get
I don't
on
know
with
what I
it.
need to say. So
Okay.
please, Cliff Notes it real quick.
Cries.
Okay, caught up now. Really bad time for me to leave to go get ice.
Kinda was, yeah.
The worst fucking time.
The worst time possible.
Yeah, and basically what I'm suggesting is, like, you're essentially going to do a speech check or whatever the fuck, and I'm pretty sure you can use trickery to do it, because it's just... You're making us sound more like the victims. Yes.
Okay.
And then, I mean,
That
if
is
I
good
can
at that,
roll
you
to
can
assist... If I can roll to assist and sort of sound professional and savvy about the magical thing and how important it is, I mean, I will roll to assist in that regards, but overall, does anyone have anything they want to add or change to this?
No.
I'm okay.
Can you assist with your trickery or do something else? I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works
I
either.
don't know how it works either.
I mean, if you, Arlie, don't know how.
I mean, I don't. I mean,
We're all gonna be like,
I know how it
got no
works
fucking
individually. I don't know if it works in assists or whatever, or how assists work, or how Sasha is ruling that.
Sasha, how are you?
then why are
rolling
you
that?
asking us if?
Basically, here's how it goes. Whoever's talking will be doing the talking.
Got it.
If someone else wishes to pitch in and try and give them a bonus at a relatively appropriate time, they can do so. And their success or failure will alter how the conversation is going to ultimately go. Pretty straightforward. It's not really so much
Okay, so if we see them flailing, or we really just want to try and make ourselves look better, we can chime in.
if you want to just support their story, anything like that, you can stay completely quiet if you want, or if it comes up where it's like, yeah, there's totally magic, and you go, yes, and I know that because I have a magic stick. Ho ho! Well, that's
So I
up to you.
rolled a nat 1.
I have a magic stick. That means
I have a
know
magic stick, and it's just like all of a sudden Alistair flexing and looking down suggestively.
What up?
I've got a magic stick. Yeah.
And it really
that.
does.
We
the trick.
immediately fail.
Wink, wink.
We immediately fail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, at least I didn't go with the and the real reason why your daughter's split in half.
I'm the real reason.
Oh, dear.
We're bad people. Anyway.
We are
Yeah.
awful, awful people.
Kinda.
So before we head over there, Frank wants to speak with Father.
Morgan?
What was it, Myron? Yeah, Morgan.
Father Mulcahy?
I was gonna say Myron.
Mulvaney! Now, here's another little tangent here. You've all decided on who's going to be talking to Dreen when he gets here. Who's going to go tell him, come pick up your dead baby?
Hey Kai, want to do it because you can escape the fastest?
Isn't Kai the one talking to him when he gets here?
Good point. You know what?
Just runs over. Your daughter's dead. She's here. Runs off. When he gets here, I'd like to speak to you normally now.
I would like to have a few words with you. Also, what the fuck?
Good idea. We send one of the two people who are not a designated talker for this.
So you?
Frank or Delilah.
Well, like, how are we gonna get him over here? Like, shouldn't we just all go over there and tell him the story there, and then tell him that this is where the body is?
I mean, do we think the body will be left alone here?
I mean, the church should be watching it for us. We can ask them too to do it.
They can come out and keep an eye on it. There's no guarantee that they will, be
I
able to-
mean, no one else knows it's here. I don't think there's someone's gonna like steal the corpse or something.
You
I mean,
underestimate.
At worst, someone will be a douche and try and steal someone's rain barrel and then have a very unfortunate turn of events.
I mean, also, they're gonna have a hell of a time carrying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know what, we'll leave it in a shed. We let them know we're going to go and retrieve the father, and I guess away we all go. And that gives us more time to hunt down Frent. While he's busy going to pick up his daughter, we can hunt down
But
Frent.
he's your friend.
He's no friend of mine.
You got a friend in me.
Feeding him to a crocodile.
No,
You
that
got a friend in me.
yeah, that would be accurate. Or Candace could have said that was accurate once upon a time. Rest in peace,
Anyways.
Candace.
No. Pieces. Definitely pieces. Alright. So you all head over. Let's see. So that would be noon. So some talking. So about 1:30. Okay, 1, 2. Over to the iron out here. Okay. So it's about 2:30. By the time you all get back here.
Oh, does this mean Delilah and Frank can get their flex on once more?
Yeah, they've chilled out for a bit long enough so that they can do heavy lifting once again.
Good, because we expect them to do all the heavy lifting when it comes to combat.
Kinda, yeah.
Delilah lifts the rain barrel and eats it over.
It's like,
Okay,
why would you do
Monet.
that? Why would you do that? 'Cause fuck these guys, that's why. Fuck this dead chick, too. Not literally, ew. But you know. I suppose it's only about 1:30, because that would be here.
Oh, sorry, are you sure Delilah would say ew to that?
No, not even remotely, but, you know. Okay.
Just what it is.
That's necrophilia for you kids playing at home.
Oh my god,
Ew.
please no. I'm judging and not
Please
even
no.
silently.
Take a shot every time we've made a necrophilia joke.
People are dead now. Thank you.
I mean, take a shot
Well.
every time we make a like inappropriate joke and people's internal organs are pickled right now.
Here, one sec. Yeah, I got this. I got this. People are dead. Well, fuck that. There you go. Necrophilia joke. Enjoy. So, you arrive at the Emporium. And, well, unsurprisingly, it looks pretty much the same as it did before. Day-to-day business is not really tweaked too much based on whatever you're doing.
Unsurprising.
So, you're heading inside and basically going back upstairs, you know,
Mhm.
knock on the door, get let in. Okay. Well, this time you're met with a much more swift guiding into the room. So, you know, you're walked forward, and it's the person is, Master Dreen has been, Master Dreen has been
All right, Sasha. Side note:
expecting you.
backpack is going to be side slung, so I can have like one hand move to sort of like keep it up, which also is going to let me put my hand on like the skeleton skull, edgy skull thing in the backpack in case shit goes really bad, horribly wrong. I want like my my fucking spellcasting thing in hand.
Okay.
Can we all stand together and in a row in front of him, all dramatic, like tell the story?
You definitely can. Yeah.
And we could just darken the room, stand in like a little box, so we can like have the queen thing going. Is this a dream? Is this
Okay.
real?
Well, this probably won't matter, probably. But so if you're all standing in a row, so who's on the far left? Who's on the far right? Who's in the middle? Where's your positions? You can move your own characters.
I'll be in the middle. I call the middle.
I'm gonna be, I guess, off to the left. So
I'll be on the right, I guess.
Where's middle?
move
Where
your-
are we setting up this line?
it starts where you are.
Go from Kai.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm middle. Everyone else move around me.
Up. There we go. Y'all been decided.
So Miguel on the far left then. All right.
I'll be on the far left.
It's like fuck you, Kai.
You smell, Kai.
I'm pretty.
Actually, no. Frank and Delilah kind of smell though,
Yeah, they do.
like rotten blood.
Ooh.
So, yeah, you head into the room, and Master Dreen is sitting there. You know, he's looking tense. His hands are folded in front of his face, and he's leaning his lips onto his knuckles. And sitting in a chair next to him is Mr. Frent.
Oh, isn't this great?
Mr. Fent.
Oh, Mr. Frent, I have things to tell you.
And I really don't want to tell you.
It's called stabbing. So, you walk into the room, and it's a heavy atmosphere. So, I see you've returned.
What's the voice he had last time?
Yeah, that was the voice he had last time.
Okay, I must have
Yes,
just
it is.
completely lost all memory of that.
Oh, no. His voice is like that most of the time, unless he was talking about his daughter, and then he got, like, a lot more uplifted and cheerful.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised you remember that from like a year ago.
Essentially, he went from speaking like a certain someone from a certain pulp fiction movie to speaking a little more lightly about it, and then went back to being Mr. Pulp Fiction Man with a blowtorch. Sorry, pair of pliers and blowtorch. In any case, though. Anyways, and next to him is, of course, as I said, Phineas' friend, who kind of perks up a little bit, and his eyes widen. He leans forward in his chair and kind of clenches both fists and puts them on his knees. And he leans forward to look at you. Thank goodness. Now he's like looking from face to face. Looks like he's looking for how things are going.
I'm trying to read his expression.
He looks like he's trying to read yours.
Yeah, so like right now it's like Alistair like pushes up his glasses and he's like doing his best to get like the that nice practiced noble look of like can't let people read me. I will roll a will check if I have to just to maintain stoicness.
Stoic.
Stoic.
Well, he's trying not to give off the fact that he is like inches from just fucking trying to murder this guy here.
Well, I will just do a thing like this, a thing like that, and a thing like this. Okay, cool. I won't tell you what I was rolling, but okay.
And that was Alistair's roll to stay stoic. Stoic.
Stoic.
Stoic.
Like stoic Scoob!
But yeah, that's yep.
That's a thing. That is a thing
Can
that
I
does
actually
happen.
read anything off his face, or is he basically doing the exact same thing back to me?
Oh, he's not trying to look stoic, actually. In fact, he's kind of doing the opposite. He's looking like he looks very eager. He looks very like intent on all of you. He's quickly like looking from face to face. He's very clearly looking for any sort of reaction. Like whether it's practiced or not, maybe he's an evil mastermind who's like proficient in lying, or maybe he's just some dorky boyfriend who wants to know what happened to his girlfriend. But whatever he is, he's like, his body language very clearly shows that he is very interested in everything you have to say right now.
There's just like a very slow...
And then you have Master Dreen, who looks like he's going to strangle a kitten in front of all of you with his mind.
Yeah.
My
No.
bullets.
You're a cat. You're okay.
Okay, thank God.
If you were... now, he, however, looks like he might regress Kai back to a kitten, and then... No, I'm just kidding. Anyways.
Yeah, just like... one of those long drawn out sighs like well, Kai, I believe this would be your tale to tell right now.
Tail.
Wait.
Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. What are the cliff notes? What am I supposed to tell this guy? What was that? I said, what am I supposed to tell you is a lie? I'm so scared right now.
I'm so sorry. Don't hurt me.
I thought someone else was going to tell him that.
Nope.
No, and then we got sent here. Okay, I must have.
No,
zoned out.
we skipped that part and we all just went straight to him.
Okay, well, I'm a little out of it today apparently.
Oh, it's fine.
Now I'm just really looking forward to what you're gonna say.
I'm just like feeling dread in the pit of my stomach and have been for weeks.
Okay. So, unfortunately, this is me actually talking as Kai now. I know I don't do character voices. Unfortunately, we were not able to bring your daughter back alive. I just started off.
This is the best start I've ever heard of.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Proceed.
say that. Does he have any change in face currently?
Murderous intent would be my guess.
Who has an intellect of 12 or higher?
Probably not me, but let me see.
I don't even know where Kai's character sheet went off to.
Actually, I do have a 12!
Okay. So Miguel and I'm
I
guessing
have a
Alistair.
12 as well.
Oh,
I have an
alright.
11.
Alright,
Sad.
so Delilah, Miguel, and I'm guessing Alistair.
Nope, I have an 11 in intellect. I just have 13 willpower.
Fair enough. Okay, Delilah and Miguel, you see it. It's so subtle. This is a man very practiced in being in control, but just the slow tightening of his shoulder muscles as he barely even. One sec.
Yeah! Okay, Pillar Man. Need the door?
This is how we die.
This is how we die. I'm
I
so sorry
probably-
that I got picked.
I probably should have delegated this to you. As well as like, hey Sasha, do you want to just let us get away with cliff notes? Do you?
Nope.
We practiced the script beforehand. They could just nope. Guess we die now.
Okay. So yes, he turns into a pillar man and starts killing all. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Jojo!
Jojo. All right. So he's
Kazo!
Nerds. All of you are nerds.
the slow tightening of his shoulders, like just this, like the twitching in his arms. It's like almost imperceptible. Like he's so good at keeping control, but you can see the stress building in his face as soon as Kai starts talking. Kai, please continue talking.
Okay, so what did I start off with?
You started by saying, unfortunately, we were not able to bring your daughter back alive.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I should have started off with that, but it's fine.
French, by the way, basically kind of wilts. And he slowly sits back into his seat with it. And he slowly sits
I'll
back.
use my own legs!
And he slowly sits back into his seat, just kind of like shoulders dropping.
We made our way to the island that she was being kept at, but by the time we had got there, that's not proper grammar. By the time we got there, it looked as if a magical battle had already taken place, and she was unfortunately dead. I'm not laughing in character. Don't take that out of context.
Oh, no,
Sasha.
no, I assume you're not.
Okay.
You just said that. She was dead! They split her in half! She was said her guts spilling on the ground. It was so funny. You should have seen it, man. Her face, she looked like she missed her dad so much.
Unfortunately, there looked like there had been a battle. We had been able to kill some of the rude boys that were remaining on the island and almost suffered casualties ourselves. But we returned to the island to bring her body back to you and to find any clues about either the magical battle that took place or the rude boys in general. I don't know what else to say. There you go.
Okay.
Can I make?
Wait. So his mouth slowly opens about an inch. So, where is she then?
Allow me to interject. So we managed to retrieve her body and bring it over to the Church of the New God, where we currently have it in storage and have ensured that it's not been delivered to the guards as of yet, because I figured you ought to be able to pay the respects to your daughter in peace. And to clarify what my companion has said, so I suppose, considering they were on watch last night, they may be a bit scatterbrained. We have done what we could for killing all of the rude boys on that island. And one of the people we gather is tied more directly to her death. They were wearing, and Alistair flops out the little torn patch of the icon, the sigil that was on the cultist robe, down onto the desk. Whatever this is, we've seen it pop up in one other place, which seems to indicate it's an organization that targeted either your daughter or the Rude Boys. Considering that we became somewhat aware that we might have been tailed while we were out on the waters, and they managed to pass us, though I suppose that is what happens when you hire sailors from the dock. Yeah, we have reason to believe that someone in your organization told these people that we were seeking out your daughter and tailed us until we were almost in that direction, and then passed us once we were in the final legs of the journey.
He looks like he does turn to you when you start talking. It's about at that point where his expression starts getting darker.
So what you're saying is someone managed to tail you to where you were going,
And that's why
and then
you shouldn't have said.
and then suddenly get so far past you that they engaged an entire battle before you managed to get there.
Not entirely. As we mentioned, we killed one of them. There was one there. We dealt with one. By that
Interesting
point.
how they gain such a sudden burst of speed.
Magic. Literally! Magic. And considering boats with sails can be made to be hastier with the application of wind magic, it's not that sudden. What it does imply, though, is that whoever was going after you is running a very well-organized group of people, possibly specifically set up for these kind of endeavors. Which also begs the question of whether your daughter was being targeted by them for a long while and they were waiting for an opportunity. But in any case, it also implies there is a leak within your organization or someone that told these people what we were doing and to follow us. I don't know who else knew about the ransom with Candace. That's something only you would know.
Suffice to say, he doesn't. His expression hasn't changed since the zipping past you part.
Yeah.
It's-
And just where did this take place? Again.
I mentioned the island on Dark Waters.
Hmm.
Like, I like, because that's where it took place, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Or,
The small
yeah,
island.
I'm like, the awful fairy-infested island. Dark Waters, the smaller one. I think it's the smaller one.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it also didn't help that we were venturing at night, so it's entirely possible that we also got off course.
Don't
say that.
Not actually in character, but it's like, why do you keep digging it worse?
I mean, we literally hired a single sailor and had the only option of the one guy who wanted to go to the fairy island in the middle of the night.
You're still making it worse.
Because
still
literally
making it
no one
worse.
else wanted to go there.
You're missing our point, but I see what you're saying.
He slowly stands up. It's
Which church?
The Church of the New God.
Friend.
and Phineas kind of just sort of looks listlessly up. Sir.
Make a memo.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
We need.
He kind of like reaches up. He holds his chest with one hand for a moment.
We need to speak with Paulus. And with Edgerton. And with Reyna. There's going to be some changes in this city.
And actually he seems to remember you're there, and he just kind of looks at all of you.
You're dismissed.
Oh, Seely. Guys, I don't think we're getting paid!
Please no.
I'd rather just leave with our lives.
Yeah, no, yeah, I that's why I said, oh, Seely. I'm not, I am not fucking mouthing off and getting us killed here.
I mean, I do invite any of you to be like, sir, actually, there is the matter of being paid the money that was going to go to the ransom to your dead daughter, please. Like, please do that. I find it very funny. But in the meantime,
Please do this. So I can laugh at your stupidity.
If there is one thing I could request, sir, it's if I could borrow Frent later to speak with him, since he might at least be able to provide some insight in towards who was that other group.
okay, so Friend is sitting there. He's just kind of staring at you, and you're actually watching a vein slowly rise in this man's forehead as he looks at you. You're pretty sure your words are just kind of this garble of rage-inducing red haze at the moment. You're not sure if what you're saying is actually going to his ears or not.
Well, while he's saying this, Frank is already stood up and leaving.
Okay, so Frank's going. Is anyone else leaving?
I'm going.
Okay, if they're all leaving, I'm just like,
Hey, Frent, we need to talk, you fucking douchebag.
I would appreciate if you can get back to me at some later point, friend. I at least may be able to find the rest of them, if you're able to help in that regard. And I go.
Okay. But I'm sure he kind of nodded. He was kind of a head wiggle.
Yeah.
Just, sure.
Fine,
Like,
fucker, just get the
I'm
fuck out of my
not
face.
fucking talking about this here. He's gonna kill all of us, starting with you and then me.
That's what I say.
There's gonna be some changes around here. Oh, we're all fucked.
I mean, I think
seem too
partly it's the fact that I basically implied someone in his organization betrayed him, which...
Actually, no, most of the rage is coming from the fact that his daughter was murdered by magic people.
Fair.
Other things are probably floating around in his mind, but so I say, to those of you with some intuition, so unfortunately, Miguel, you fail this one. Intuition fail, like I said. So, anyone else, aside from Miguel, right now, we're just going to chalk that up to Miguel wanting to get the fuck out immediately. That whole, yeah, we just, they were probably tracking us immediately and then shot right past us and just happened to kill your daughter before we got there, and then she was just there when we arrived. While it could be argued to be possible and or plausible, especially if someone knew about magic, suffice to say he's a little more suspicious about that than he is. It was definitely someone betraying me from my own organization. But
Yeah, that's
But he didn't seem to discount the idea of a mole either. Clearly, in his rage, he's not lost all sense. He is now just being extremely critical to try and break down what's going on. You can see the calculations rolling behind those angry, angry eyes.
Also, there's a simple fact that we're not part of his organization and screwed the pooch, and no matter what happened, we screwed the pooch. He's gonna look down on that first.
Yeah, that too. That's a very big thing right now.
I mean, quite frankly, if we give it time, it actually just leads into more odds of someone looking and being like, this is possible, because on the first night, yeah, we were hired by a singular drunkard guy who overburdened a boat. with 4 people. Like his little dinky one-man rig. We've actually done that for every boat we've used, as we've overburdened it, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep. And, you know, going and taking a foggy night. I mean, I told truisms and then also chalked up... I mean, I did not do us any favors, but amongst my lies were... Also, we did not really do this the best way possible because we are not well equipped to... We got tailed. We don't know how not to be tailed.
Which was probably one of the worst parts of what you said.
It's like, yeah, they tailed us. You let yourself get tailed. Ah!
I mean, the assumption is, okay, so they got randomly murdered. It's either... Yeah, I don't know why else they'd randomly murder her. That seems very specific, and honestly, I'd rather increase the pressure. And I was just sort of hoping it increases the pressure on Frent, because maybe even if he's not the one who fucked us all over, he might at least be able to provide us an indication of who did. But if he did fuck us over, maybe he's just gonna be like, I need to leave before you, like... Okay, also, I mean, I guess... So we're gonna have to worry about our upkeep now, right, Sasha, for next adventure, yada yada? Because we've hit our official dead end. There's nothing more we can do other than wait to be murdered by a creepy monster from the first game. And now 3 cultists from this game. Like, the list of things we have to watch out for at all times just increases between games. The game doesn't become easier, it just gets worse for us.
Because we keep failing to kill
Now there's
people.
4 fucking cultists, a possible leak, and the thing that all want to kill you. It's so horrible.
Yeah, there's a reason I stress about this game in my off time, and I'm like, I look forward to this game, but it's so stressful.
I was about to say, yeah, we keep getting ourselves dug into more shit because we fail to actually kill anything.
Yep. Yep.
We just suck.
I don't know why it would be stressful. It's not like we almost won at any point. It's all pretty much all downhill. We just get destroyed every single time.
It's all just downhill.
The first
It is Shadow of
one,
the Demon Lord.
the first
That's kind
one
of
we
what-
almost won. The first one we did almost won. We killed the ghoul. That was pretty good. And then we just got completely, just utterly fucked by the
We
last
just
guy.
got fucked.
You got mollywopped.
Mollywopped.
None of us having range attacks did not help.
Yeah, well, it's also the fact that, you know, you're trying to fight something that can actually kill people immediately if they drop, and you're fighting them at level 0, you have basic equipment, you're not really prepared for it.
Thank you, Sasha.
I made it fight like a complete asshole, and I will continue to do that, by the way. For as long as you let it live, it will continue being a giant asshole. But
Of course it will. Why wouldn't it?
that's a good point. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah, okay, so, anyways, the TLDR, though, we have to worry about next month's thing. I'm suggesting we rent out, like, I don't know, rooms at an inn for whatever the basic upkeep thing is, and the official address we give as, like, a, hey, note for Frent, this room, and it'll be the room across from us, so in case we get, like, knifed in our sleep... Sorry, in case that room gets, like, attacked in our
You're
sleep.
trying to pull the fucking Nazgul shit from Lord of the Rings.
I mean...
You're like screaming.
I hadn't actually remembered that, but yes, that is very accurate.
You remember it now.
I do remember it now. I mean,
Yes, it's that.
It is that. I mean, to be fair, we're dealing with probably a leak. Definitely a leak. Unless the father is just really good at playing off the fact that he hired us to go and be patsies for his daughter's murder, and I don't think so. Unless he is the world's best actor.
Or we are the worst judge of character.
Which, I mean, considering we're all sort of friends.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah. So,
We all are the worst.
yeah, I don't know, Sasha.
No, there's much worse than you. Like those cultists.
Yeah, what the heck is upkeep cost again? I mean, I guess I need to figure that out for upkeep's worth for an inn room.
Well, there's a question. Basically, like, are we like calling it for now? Like, that's that.
Is there anything else we can do other than wait for Frent?
Are you expecting Frank to come say hello?
Not. Okay.
He's got important shit he needs to take care of right now because he's kind of like the associate to Master Dreen who
So
wants him to take notes because he needs to talk to. And by the way, anyone, okay, who wouldn't know this? Who is? I forget. Is anyone here an out of towner? Miguel, are you an out of towner? Or no, you've been here
I
before.
don't think so.
Yeah, you were. Oh yeah, Delilah. Delilah's the wanderer.
Yeah.
So Delilah is the only one who might not know those 3 names that he mentioned, but pardon me as I find them again. Okay, so Commander Reyna commands the militia in this place. Father Paulus is the champion of the Church of the New God throughout this entire city. And Catherine Edgerton is the mayor of the Crossings.
Well.
So these are 3 other people on the council, and the fact that he's saying, I need to speak to these 3 specifically because there's going to be some changes in the city, is probably not a good thing.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else to do, I mean, the only thing left is set up that room thing, continue taking lessons with Mage Guy, and continue trying to figure out some way to find Nice in Shithole City.
Yeah, good luck.
Frank probably wants to talk to the priest of the New God guy about if he's an abomination for seemingly coming back to life.
Okay, no, that's fair, that's fair. Oh, that's a good question, too. Wow, yes it is. Okay.
What do you mean you came back to life? I don't even know.
Jesus did it, so.
Yeah,
Different
Jesus also
universe.
T-posed for your sins.
Sure. Frank, did you T-post for your sins?
Oh no, I knew I forgot to do something when I woke up.
Oh no, I should have done that.
I think his head wasn't attached at the time. He just sort of loses his head.
Oh no.
Now and then.
Oh no.
Oh no, Harry.
Oh shit, that's
But
right.
yeah, is there actually anything else we can do is the question here, Sasha.
That's up to all of you. Technically, the adventure ended as soon as you finished up with on that island. So technically, everything after you all died horribly on the island is actually basically outside the purview of the adventure. It doesn't even really cover going back to speak to Dreen, but presumably you're going to do that. They're just like, we failed. Choose it. Oh, she's in a jam.
Yeah, I mean, we started off with we failed, so we couldn't lead up or butter it up anymore. Yeah, like
I would have been.
We lost any ability to make checks, I think, the way we handled it. And I was just like, fucking, I'm done. Okay, let's toss it all out here.
We're done. We're done here.
After we-
Everything's fine.
Hey, you got away without being like
Kill.
put on trial and executed within like 24 hours. So that's
He didn't go medieval on our asses.
with a pair of pliers and a blow.
Yet.
And yes, by the way, that is exactly who I modeled his voice after.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Do I
After we
look like a
failed.
bitch?
After we failed the mission, we just like skip town and never tell him anything. That would have been one way to handle it.
Just
It would have
everything
been a
was just-
pretty good way to handle it.
It would have been a way to handle it, all right.
Yeah.
Don't know about good way, but it would have been a way.
Okay.
So, do we want to have the conversation with the priest, or do we want to just end it here?
I can do the conversation with the priest.
Yes, Frank's dramatic solo moment.
The most dramatic.
So, do you want like
Oh,
Final
but I-
Fantasy music or like Binding of Isaac music?
I hate you.
No, definitely the Final Fantasy music.
Final Fantasy? Okay.
Donald Duck sings simple and clean.
Final Fantasy X of the Faith. I mean, totally not copyrighted song ever.
You can't know.
Exactly. There's
Yeah, it's a-
absolutely there's
Yeah,
absolutely nothing copyrighted going on right now.
I mean, it can't. Well, if it as long as it happens off the recording, it's fine because YouTube will kill me otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going
Go ahead.
off record, guys.
Off the record.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, so yeah, with that totally not actually a thing or anything like that I have not posted in the Discord at all.
No.
Okay, so Frank goes back to Father Morgan, who by the way looks a little shell shocked, like he's sitting there with like a pale expression. He's gripping tightly onto a box that he's sitting on. He's sitting in the back. He's not inside the church when you get there. The rain barrel is gone. You can see like the shed that is there has an actual like small dent in it and like blood around the dent. It looks like either something was hit against it, like someone's fist or someone's face, or maybe the corpse got out of the barrel, but it's probably the first one. And the father just looks a little bit mortified at the moment.
Me too.
Oh. Well, Frank's gonna walk up to him anyway, and he's gonna say,
Oh God.
"Excuse me, Father Morgan."
All right,
He doesn't have that pause there.
It's fine. He gradually lifts his face up to meet yours. Or his gaze, not his face. He's not kissing you. Oh, Frank!
Are you
Morgan!
sure?
All right, so he comes up, he just kind of looks your way. He's...
May I have a word with you?
I think we should have words.
And he kind of pats the box next to him.
Frank's been excommunicated, folks.
Oh no.
As Frank has a seat.
Franklin.
Oh yeah, Franklin. You're getting the whole name.
Oh man, you in trouble.
I imagine we're just sitting off to the side adding comments as the series conversation.
Just everybody was sitting like 10 feet waiting popcorn. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. All right.
This gonna be good.
I mean, you guys are being assholes. Fucking Alistair's awesome. We're just being broody.
Wait, are you actually all there? Did you
No.
follow Frank?
No,
Okay.
no.
Just making sure. Okay.
What have you done?
Become Jesus.
What do you mean?
Master Dreen. He came. He came. He's taken the girl. He left in great sorrow. And I fear for this city. But more than that, right now I fear for you, Franklin. The guards, they came here. They wished to know where you were.
The gods?
Your voice. They said your voice was distinctly heard singing in a boat, reported stolen last night. The only boat that would have been out on the water that late, they said.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I don't know what else to tell you. This is what they told me, that you're being suspected of foul play. All the owners of the boat, four sailor gentlemen, they've all gone missing. The boat was reported missing late last night, and well, not last night, I guess, but no, it would have been last night. Yeah, late last night, and it's in the wrong spot this morning. And they said that late that night there were sailors on the dock, and they specifically heard your very well-known voice. Everyone around the city knows you, singing a shanty. Franklin, what's going on?
Oh, I did happen to talk to some sailors last night, but I'm afraid I may have a bigger problem that I wish to speak to you about. He's just dodging the issue.
So he puts a hand on your shoulder and just kind of holds it there. It's
Alright. What's wrong?
So, when we were headed to rescue, Candace, we
Yes.
ran into a bit of trouble, more than we could handle.
Discretion is the better part of valor, or so they tell me. As long as you acted in good faith towards what you know to be right.
And I did. I acted what I knew to be right and true. However, I'm certain, without a doubt, that I fell on the battlefield that night.
What?
But for some reason, I still live. Father Morgan, am I an abomination?
No. If you're certain that you fell that night, it may have been a premonition of another time, of something that did not come to pass. Or perhaps the new god saw it was not your time to fall. After all, reuniting with our loved ones after we die is in the purview of his divine sight. Perhaps he saw it was not yet time for you to join with beloved Linda. And he wished for you to stay here a while longer, take care of these misconceptions. Surely something has gone wrong. For you... Excuse me. He's not coughing. For you, the kindest soul in this city, to be accused of such a thing, when all you tried to do was save a life. Some, I'm sure, would even call this a prophetic sign. There have been the occasional musings from some of our new congregation that you're some manner of prophet. I don't know where these tales come from. They may seem to have had troubled pasts. But whatever the case may be, hold strong. Hold strong to your faith.
Yes, surely you're right, Father Morgan. It's not over for me yet. I can still follow the path of the new god.
And he will ever guide you towards the truth and towards what is right. We will need to stay strong in the coming days.
Indeed, we must.
For in the Master's eyes, I see nothing but loss. Loss and a need for revenge.
We all gonna die.
Praise be upon Astrid and the new god.
Praise be to Astrid and the new god.
And he takes his hand off your shoulder.
Peace be with you.
Thank you, Father Morgan.
Domino me padre.
Or if you want to go the Assassin's Creed route, Requiescem in spaghetti.
Wow.
Hey, I didn't know what the fuck they were saying. So
Recreate
Yes,
pastigate.
pace.
don't you quote the actual quote at me, you quoting quoter. What do
Party.
you think you are? Someone who knows the actual words because you paid attention? Jeez.
So
In any case,
Scene.
and in any case, that is a question. What is Frank going to do with that information? Because yes, I kept track of everything you all did on that boat. And it's a shame that the only one to start singing at the top of his lungs while the boat was in clear sight of sailors on the dock was the one person among you with an insanely recognizable voice. As it's been established that you're well known all across the city from smokestacks to purse.
Yep.
Everyone knows you.
Yep.
No, I'll have to think
Way
about
to
that.
go.
it was good. I dug it.
It's all good. Until
Can't
it's
believe
not.
Frank is going to die.
Frank is going to die. Go to jail.
Frank is going to T-pose for his sins.
Frank
is
isn't
going to
much of a
die
liar,
forever.
so
This is gonna be great. For
So what would you say
everyone
happened?
except Frank.
Everyone over there's like, okay, so Frank, you just tell them everything that happened, except you tell them that we found the boat empty and we tried, and we were going to pay them when we got back. You just can't mention that we killed 4 people for no real good reason. Okay, got it. Okay, good. All right, the guards. So, Mr. Frank, what happened? Oh, we murdered 4 people and stole their boat. And then I sang shanties to distract everyone because I think you're all idiots. Also, I kill children in my spare time.
I kill cats in my spare time.
No.
It's like, why the fuck would you say that? I hate all of you. The ship's going down and we're all going with it. They're my accomplices. I'll give you their names and locations.
Oh my god. No, I'm just also picturing it instead being like, Frank being like, I'll tell you, in my new book that I spread to everyone in the city.
Well, I'll tell you. He's going to tell.
He's going to tell. Yes. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Well, yes, that is a question. Now, what is Frank going to do with that information at the moment? Is he actually like informing anyone in the group, or is he just kind of keeping it to himself?
yeah, he's probably gonna go and tell the group.
Okay, so you're all informed that the guards are now actively looking for Frank and likely several associates in the boat that they couldn't see the faces of. They just know that Frank was with several associates.
With 3 associates, because one was a cat.
Several associates.
Good point.
Several.
Oh.
I will just... See, nobody suspects a cat. I'll just be a cat for the
Totally
next 3
low
weeks.
key. Totally low key, Sasha. I'm gonna
Yeah.
spread a rumor that I saw Frank the day before, like drunk as fuck, being like in tow of a. Remember the dude who was watching over the chalk marks? Because we actually have a description for him, and he is a very existing person. And since he's a rude boy, if he winds up in jail, he'll probably die. Yeah, him.
You're dead, motherfucker.
So you're trying to do what?
I'm going to low-key be like, hey, you know, since it's, you know, possibly known they're asking around, right? And then
They
other
are
people.
definitely asking around.
So, Alistair will, you know, and he'll also ask Kai and Miguel to help pass this around, but like, he, you know, saw a drunken Frank get pulled into a boat by this guy and give the description of the guy who is the rude boy meant to pick up the money. Because fuck that guy. And it'll put the guy, basically it's like, oh, a drunk Frank basically got pulled onto a boat while he was talking about Linda and his newest, and asking if this guy was a friend of Linda's.
Okay.
So it just makes it sound like a fucked up kidnapping gone wrong.
Okay. All right. So let's put in that rumor there already.
I will spread that in the criminal guild or whatever, thieves guild.
Well, let's spread it around.
All right, letting people hear that Frank was nearly abducted by a douche.
Douche.
What a douche.
Yeah, you know, Frank's an old man, helpless. I mean, who would do such a thing to Frank?
Who would do such a thing to Frank?
Yeah.
The old, helpless, crazy man who doesn't have any fighting skills and no weapons, and
Yeah.
not years of training that he brushed up on suddenly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is that long rapier at his side, anyways? It's probably decorative.
Totally decorative.
Definitely decorative.
We got pulled from that house half dead. We got found again half dead. Clearly, it is decorative.
That's true.
I mean, we're pretty bad if we're pretty bad at, you know, being good at it if we keep constantly almost dying.
Yeah, literally, we'll just use like our fucking incompetence as a defense. We definitely couldn't
Have
have.
you seen the condition that they found us in all these times? There's no way we could have done that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
It's like, have you seen the number of broken fucking bones I've had in the last 3 weeks?
We're just,
Have you seen how many times we haven't died.
yeah, I'm like, you know, an impoverished former noble scholar. Like, what the heck trouble am I going to get into? Paper cut someone to death?
You threw the book at them.
So yeah, I think that relatively solves Frank's issue as best as
You know, it actually does. So, yeah, that basically wraps it up. So, you know what? Actually, to keep going, just to kind of wrap that part up, Frank is approached by the guards a short time later, like probably within the next day and a half, and it's like, you know, we need to talk to you, sir. But like, instead of like, you know, what the fuck were you doing in a stolen boat, you piece of shit? Instead, they're asking like, you know, like local stories say that you've been
Abducted.
accosted recently. And basically, like they're asking you like what's going on, like who did what. We want names, we want descriptions, like what was going on, like trying to pressure him as if he would know much.
I was drunk.
Oh, he was such a nice boy. He said he knew Linda.
All I remember is the man said he knew Linda. That's all I remember.
They looked so annoyed and so tired.
The better part is like, Shrimp didn't even have to say anything. They were just like, I think we have an idea. How accurate was it, Shrimp?
I can't believe Shrimp is dead.
I can't believe Shrimp died.
I can't believe Shrimp is dead.
I'm dead. Yes, Shrink is just like, oh, the sailors were such nice gentlemen. They listened to my story and we sang songs and got drunk.
All right. They do end up asking like, so where did the sailors go? How did you get back?
The nice party saved me. I've ended up
No,
on
you-
the island.
Oh,
I don't know if that's what he said.
I mean, do you want to ask a friend, Shrimp?
Yeah, I mean, I assume you guys are with me.
No, they probably found you by yourself.
I mean, we would have possibly debriefed you on things to say because we know they're going to find you, but it's
That's more what I
would
was gonna get. It was like you probably talked to them beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
They told you to take a swim when you were close to shore, while you were still drunk. When they were like, oh, they heard all my stories and said I wasn't much use, and told me to go take a swim.
So I did.
Well, they told me to take a swim, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember too much about what happened beyond that point.
All right. Pleasant evening to you.
Oh man.
Fucker.
You too.
If they ever find that rude boy, though, it's gonna be for kidnapping and attempted murder.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm a bad person.
Hey, to be very honest, if you're gonna do it to anybody, a
Do
douchey
it
rude
to-
boy is probably
yeah.
not gonna work.
Yeah, that's probably like one of the best options.
Because he's still a fucking killer.
Good shit. So yeah, I mean, I guess if that wraps up everything,
Yeah, for as bad as things went, it didn't end that badly. Like, you guys have covered most of your issues.
Much better than last night.
yeah, I mean, I maintain my living quartery things, and I guess I marked it off my sheet, but I rent out a poor condition room for 2 copper, so that, you know, in
Two
case
coppas.
in
Nah.
case Frent decides to
Rations.
reach out to us and like leave a message or something, or firebomb the room in the middle of the night. It's a location that's not where we are.
Delilah finds a nearby tree and lives inside its branches.
OOC
Becomes part of it.
Delilah is the tree.
OOC forewarning: if you do not spend money on your monthly upkeep, there's chances you will wake up with diseases and your equipment stolen.
Oh.
I don't even know what the cost of my upkeep is.
Who
Silver
is
to
staying
not
in
risk
the richest
anything.
room? I will catch mice for you.
I mean, I'm in like the fucking burnt out husk of my mansion, which I'm just still counting as like the silver costing comfortable lifestyle, because it's him slowly trying to get it fixed and excavating the crap out of it.
Yeah, what page is this anyways? I thought it was 186, but I'm not seeing.
And it's a monthly cost or it's a weekly cost of a
It
silver?
is a per adventure cost.
Well, we don't have any money, so I'm probably gonna get the disease.
I mean, we actually.
Sasha,
Uh-huh.
if I would stay with Alistair, would I have to pay even if I was in cat form acting as a house cat?
No,
And
basically,
actually,
as long as
would they be able to stay at like my residency thing for a discount comparatively, and it just sort of goes towards getting the place.
basically the money goes towards not just the lodgings, but also taking care of things like food, like hygiene, general shit like that. So like rent is one thing, but it's kind of all like nudged together. So I could like the more people were in a place, I could remove a portion of the general cost to say like, okay, well the housing is taken care of as long as one of you takes care of it. But as for everything else, you'll still need to pay, or you can just.
I mean, I'm totally fine with essentially renting because it's safer for all of us because of the people that want us dead. If they find our proper residence, all being together is not bad.
Hey, speaking of, so again, the page was what?
The start of the equipment page. Hey, people who are currently watching, don't mind us. Living expenses is page 100. It is 1 silver shilling, to have getting by where you don't have anything shitty happen to you at the end of a thing.
Oh, what a good thing's been done. Touching reunions all around. Those sailors got to go meet with their families. In hell. The master and his poor daughter. He's got a splitting headache and she's, well, got a splitting something else. But hey, at least our heroes are faring well for themselves, now aren't they? Making all sorts of new friends, and many more new enemies. Well, there's more to come yet, I'm certain. Perhaps they can dig themselves out of this little hole they've fallen into, and reach new heights. But then, the city is going through some changes at this point. So they'll have to be careful not to fall into some sort of witch hunt. But for now, lower the curtain.
And hey, folks. Wow. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave a comment below. And, you know, if you do want to see other episodes of Windmill's Make, or the indie reviews or developer interviews, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I'd just like to give a little quick thanks to the Walking Virus for popping onto this episode as one of our regulars as ever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. To CJ Ninja, who's also Vic on our D&D.
Yeet.
To Lovey Dovey Ding Dong. I mean, Adrenaline Diamond. I mean, whichever. Lovey. Lovey, I'm acknowledging you. God, pay
AKA
attention.
Kakalukia, AKA Lady Lara Croft #1, AKA
Oh, what was this?
ooh, what's this? Yeah.
Oh my god, I was trying to avoid that one.
Etc. Etc.
Also, a big thanks to our editor, Shrimp. He does not necessarily edit these episodes, but he does all the rest of the editing on this channel. I'll make him do the editing for these one day.
I edit these.
Hey, I put the ending on at least.
And, you know, last but not least, our Dungeon Master / Slayer of Player characters.
I will take that title, Slayer of Players. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, the ringleader of our despair. Sasha / gently toasting / God, there's a number of them too.
That's fine. Those are fine.
Good.
Nothing's gonna top lovey-dovey ding-dong.
Ding dong.
Oh yeah.
Dog dibba dome. Owner of the Digs Dale dibba dome.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'll catch you folks next time. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye, join the cult!
And join the
Bye-bye.
Discord.
All right, link to
That-
the
that
Discord
has
down
the call.
below.